Hi, I'm Graham from Brighton Bear Weekend, and I have the privilege of interviewing all our contestants for Mr. Brighton Bear 2021. And this is Stuart. Hello, Stuart.
Hi, Graham. How are you?
I am good. How are you today?
Yeah, not bad actually. Now the sun's shining. It's better than yesterday when it was, yeah, tipping it down.
I thought the sun always shines in Brighton.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Well, yes, it probably does actually. Yeah, apart from when the sea mist rolls in, that's the.
That is nature's own air conditioning. I always find we appreciate it because if you was in London, it'd be like 30, and down here it's about 22.
Yeah, no, true, true.
So why did you enter Mr. Brighton Bear?
Good question. Yeah. Easy answer? No. Um, to be honest with you, I've been wanting to go to a Brighton Bear weekend for ever since you've started it really, and I've never got around to it. I either forgot what weekend it was, or I was away, or I was working. And this time around, I must admit, I said again, I'm working most of it, but I thought, no, let's why not enter into it then? Let's instead of just going along and looking what's going on to see what, let's enter it, and see where we go with that.
It wouldn't be difficult for you to make an excuse for not to be at Brighton Bear Weekend because you are a very busy man. You do a lot.
I belong to, I think about six now. It is, I think, six external reference groups for Sussex Police. As councillor, that I only started last year. I've been in Storrington for just over 2 years now, and I love it. I was raised in a village in Dorset, and although Storrington is quite large, it feels like that villagey atmosphere, I suppose. And in a way, going into Brighton, I mean, I've lived in Brighton. I lived in Brighton since '92. So there's probably a load that are going to watch this going, oh, I wasn't even born then in '92.
I was in Brighton in '92, so they could say the same about me.
And I wasn't out. I recently left the army. And the reason why I moved to Brighton was my best mate in the army was up at Dyke Road at the the reserve centre, reservist, as a permanent staff instructor. And he said, oh, come on down to Brighton, move down to Brighton, it'd be really good, and because I knew him and his wife, I was, best man at their wedding. And so I did. And lo and behold, as things progressed, I ended up getting a job in bingo, and one of the guys that worked there was camper than, let me just think. Certainly camper than Lily Savage, that much I do, yeah. And I said to him, I'm really not too sure, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And he went, right, come on, let's go out. And we went and we'd done a pub crawl of St. James's Street, starting at the bottom. We started at the Queen's Head and finished, I can't think of what was the pub at the top of St. James's Street, because it had
Villagers.
Was it Villages? Yes, because it had the disco underneath the
We call it a disco. You can. I'll call it something else.
Yeah. And I just felt at home. In every single bar we went into, I just felt at home. And it ended up where the Queen's Head was, I termed as my local.
Right.
It just felt as though it was homely. It was my place, where I should be. I seemed to fit it in.
It felt like somewhere where you belonged.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. And then I came out in work actually. We had a staff meeting, and at the end the manager said, "Has anybody got anything to say?" And my mate was kicking me under the table, and I was like, "Oh yes, I've got." She went, "Yes, Stuart, what is it?" I said, "Oh, I'd just like to, say to everybody, while you're all here, that I'm gay." And she was like, "Right." And then she turned to her assistant manager and went, "Don't put that in the minutes." I was like,
And you can't be too camping bingo, can you?
"Oh, I don't know. Oh, I think so. Oh, I think you can." I think, I mean, I know the old dears used to love it. They used to go, "Oh, you need to shake your balls up," and I'd be like that. I'd be, it's, it's. Oh no, I think you can do.
Yeah. Now we always ask our contestants to send some photographs in, and it's a varying selection of photographs we get. But there's one really good one I'm gonna show now.
Okay. No, that's me.
And so that's a photograph of you in drag. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I started work as most people do when they go on the buses. Start with Brighton and Hove bus company, and I was thinking one year, or I thought about it for ages. Why don't we put in a float for Pride? Because police were doing it. All the other other organisations were doing it, and I thought, well, that'd be good. Brighton and Hove is one of the biggest employers in the city, and I thought, no, why not? Because actually it shows our diversity. So one of the guys who I was friends with, God bless him, because he died actually earlier on this year with COVID, Chris Turnham, he was behind it. He was like, "Yes, yeah, great idea." And so that, I think, was our first year in Pride, and I loved it. I absolutely adored it. It was mind-blowing, I think, for anybody. I mean, I've been on the other side as a spectator, but to be in it, it's I can't. It's one of those things. I think if you had a bucket list, it has to be Brighton Pride. Well, any Pride, but it has to be Pride. You have to be in it.
So did you have a drag name?
Yeah, well, as I'm an ex-army medic, I thought of antiseptic, as in a play on antiseptic. But there you go. That was I thought that will, it tickles me every time I say it, because I always think, it's quite apt. I know, and they always say your drag name should always be something that you can relate to, and which I must admit I can do.
And you use your medical training in being a St. John's ambulance volunteer.
I was, yes. I stopped, oh God, no, what are we now, 21? So probably about 6 years ago, maybe longer than that. I was in St. John when I was a kid, down in Weymouth. And when I was growing up, when I was going through the what do I want to do when I leave school type thing, I actually fixed my brain on being a nurse. I wanted to be a nurse. Anyway, as my father was in hospital, I can't remember what he was for now. Anyway, he got talking to a nurse who had been in the army and had come out, and she turned around to me and said, "If you want to be a nurse, then join the armed forces." Not the army, but join the armed forces, because everything's paid for. Your accommodation is paid for, your food's paid for, your training's paid for, your books and everything you might need is all paid for. Whereas in Civvy Street, she said, you'd have to find that yourself and fund yourself from, you know. And I was like, right, okay. So I did. I joined the army as a 16-and-a-half-year-old boy, apprentice. I went to Ashvale. That was our training depot. And I think it was about 6 months in, I then went for my interview for nurse training. In fact, it might have been later than that. It might have been a year in, actually. I went for my interview, and I went to, at the time, the medical corps, the Army Medical Corps didn't have male nurses, had male nurses, but you had to go through the female nursing.
Oh.
It was all, this is the days before they merged everything together. Anyhow, I went for an interview. When I turned up at this depot in Aldershot, I was the only boy, or the only man, surrounded by over 50 women. So I ended up becoming a medic. And that, to be honest with you, I loved it. And it was probably, it took me a bit of time to get used to, because it was completely different. Certainly different from being a nurse.
Do you get a chance to go out in the gay scene from Storrington at all in Brighton?
Oh, no, I must admit I haven't. Since I've been here, I haven't. I miss that, to be honest with you. I really, that's the part of it I think of moving out here. That's the part I miss, just being able to get on a bus, go to town, go to the Amsterdam, have Sunday lunch, you know, go up to Legends, sorry.
And we've been very lucky this year to be sponsored by bear107.com. Now, they're giving the winner £150 of gift vouchers. What would you want to spend it on?
Oh, new clothes, probably.
They do new clothes. They do some great T-shirts. I've got one here, actually.
Oh,
Kind of funny. Look at there's got lovely little bears on there and everything.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Do they do it in purple?
If you're the winner and you ask them, they will do anything for you. Sure.
Right. Okay. Because my niece and nephew both call me Uncle Purple, because that's all they've ever seen.
Hence the polo shirt you're wearing at the moment, yeah. and the lilac wall behind you as well.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're now single?
Yes.
Single and available?
Yes.
So I kind of top bottom versatile.
Mainly bottom.
Oh, that's good.
I used to be top, let's put it that way, a long time ago.
Then you discovered the joys of being a bottom.
No, actually, to be honest with you, myself and a previous partner were in the throes of, and I missed and I bent.
Ooh.
Yes, and it hurt. Yes, and it's, yeah. So, yeah, certainly since I was with my ex, the last, 5 years or so, yeah, I was mainly bottom.
Right.
And I must admit, I do like that. Yes. Right.
It's very good being bottom.
I think so.
I think everybody secretly enjoys it.
Mm-hmm.
If they can do it.
Right.
So vote for Stuart, not the only gay in the village. Bus driver, community champion, medic who saved lives in the army. What more can you want from your Mr. Brighton Bear? So vote for him now. God, vote. At www.brightonbearweekend.com. Any last words, Stuart?
Vote for me. Me.
That's him. Okay, thank you. See you all again next time. Bye.